Hi, I'm Wendy from Multnomah County Library School Corps. This is Novelties, New Books You Can't Wait to Discuss 2020. This topic is friend drama, stories about evolving friendships. I'll share some websites in this presentation. The links are available in the notes below. Dear Sweet Pea by Julie Murphy, grades 3rd through 7th. Sweet Pea spends her time living between two identical houses. This all started when her parents told her they were going to get a divorce. Although her parents are trying to make their divorce as easy for her as they she can see they're trying way too hard to make everything seem normal, which her situation is anything but. Then things also start to get complicated at school, because her old best friend turned enemy, Kira, invites everyone in the class to her birthday party, except Sweet Pea. After she finds out that even her new best friend Oscar, who has never gotten along with her, also gets invited, she gets really mad. She decides to go to the party anyway, and chooses a terrible gift that she knows Kira will hate. But it turns out that crashing Kira's birthday party doesn't go so well for Sweet Pea, and instead it just makes everything worse. Sweet Pea's pretty overwhelmed with it all, but thankfully she has an interesting task to take her mind off of the other things happening in her life. She's been asked by her neighbor, Miss Flora May, to check the mail and water her plants while she's out of town. Miss Flora May happens to live right between Sweet Pea's twin homes, and is a local celebrity that writes an advice column called Miss Flora May I for the town newspaper. Sweet Pea has always loved to read her column, and before her parents split up, they used to practice trying to give advice to the questions themselves before reading the rest of the column. Miss Flora May is an interesting lady, and Sweet Pea's fascinated by her home and all the unique things she owns. She stops by to check the mail, water the plants, and even discovers a little bit of music while she's there. When checking the mail one day, one of the letters catches her attention, and she decides to open it. As she reads it, she realizes she knows just what to say. She grabs a pair of Miss Flora May's quirky glasses, puts on some music, and writes out a response to post in the column. And she quickly realizes she loves giving advice. But as she starts to see things differently, after hurting Oscar's feelings and learning more about what Kira is going through, she starts to wonder if the advice she sent to be printed was actually the best advice she could have given. Below, I've included a list of discussion topics. Complicated friendships. You could ask questions like, have you ever had a best friend turn enemy like Kira? Why do you think that happened? Would you try to be friends with them again? Why or why not? You could talk about giving advice. Have you ever given advice that you regret giving? What's the best advice you've ever gotten, and why? And another theme in this book is body image. You could ask, what does body image mean? What do you think the book's message about body image is? And then there's some related websites. I've included the author's website, which also has reader's guides. There's a video called Dear Julie Murphy, where Julie shares advice about bullying, crushes, and other topics. A New York Times book review, and a lesson guide about body image. Stargazing by Jen Wang, grades 3rd through 4th. And this is a graphic novel with beautiful pictures and vibrant colors that easily catch the reader's interest. Christine gets a new neighbor named Moon, who is totally different than anyone else she's ever met. Christine's mom gets along with Moon's mom right away, and Moon seems pretty friendly. But Christine is reluctant to be friends with her because some of the kids at school said that Moon had been really mean to the other kids at her previous school. However, since Moon is her new neighbor, it's kind of hard to avoid her. So although she was initially reluctant to befriend her, Christine thinks she's super cool and is drawn by her fun energy. And sure enough, as soon as they spend a little time together, they instantly hit it off. Moon's creativity brings Christine out of her shell. They have fun dancing around, painting their nails, and talking about their dreams. Moon even tells Christine that she thinks she has connections with the stars and that she's unique because she isn't even part of this world. It sounds like a cool fantasy to Christine, part of Moon's quirkiness. And Moon quickly makes friends at school too. Everyone seems to be drawn to her unique personality. However, just as everyone is starting to think that the rumors about Moon being a bully were made up, Moon has an incident. This book is a unique take on friendship and how things aren't always what they seem. Operatic by Keo McClear, grades 5th through 9th. This is another graphic novel with beautiful art in it that's completely different than the style used in the previous graphic novel, Stargazing. The style's a little more serious with muted colors. Charlie's in middle school, and this story stems out of experiences in her favorite class, which is music. Mr. K, the music teacher, makes it a point to cover a wide variety of musical genres in his class. His hope is to find something each student feels connected to. Mr. K gives them an assignment to choose a song that reflects who they are, a song for the soundtrack of their lives. This assignment leads Charlie to discover Maria Callas, a Greek opera singer from the 1940s. Not only is Charlie's attention captured by her powerful voice, but she also finds her life intriguing. Who doesn't love a diva? As Charlie learns more about her, the stories about Maria become a mini biography within the book. Another prominent theme that develops in Charlie's story is her observations of Luca, someone whose absence sparks Charlie's curiosity. Although music is her favorite class, Charlie can't help but get distracted by the empty desk in the classroom. One of her classmates suddenly stops showing up to class. He's been gone for a while now, and normally when someone stops coming to class, the desk gets removed and put into storage. But Luca's desk is still there. It's hard for Charlie to ignore the desk day in and day out. What happened to Luca? Charlie remembered he was so different from everyone else. He had long dark hair that he always wore down, and he had an excellent sense of style that was uncommon but flattering. Did he disappear because he couldn't survive middle school judgment? It would make sense. As Addie, one of Charlie's best friends, would say, it's better not to be seen. Or maybe it had something to do with his performance at the winter concert. The concert primarily leans towards rock music, but Luca chose to do something totally different and unexpected. Charlie remembered feeling weird about it, and Addie seemed mortified for him. And don't forget to check out the notes below. In addition to the links for this video, you'll find a list of all the titles from all the novelties videos from this year, links for other school corps presentations, and links to book discussion tips from Multnomah County Library. We would love it if you would take a minute to fill out our survey and let us know what you think about the videos. Thanks for watching.